been knocked out yet. The Giants are in control, and Phil Davis has done some sort of a job.
It's theirs for the taking, the Giants. They lead at the last change by 35 points. Winner plays the loser of the West Coast Eagles and Collingwood next Saturday night at the
venue to be decided.
Venue TBA, exactly. Look at Lobb fighting in and firing in there. So 35 points. Just got to get the first one, don't they, Sydney? And they haven't looked likely, Lingy. That's been the story, hasn't it? Goals have been virtually impossible to come by for them. One in the first term, one in the second term. Aaliyah forward.
The only time they looked at all like they had the game on their terms was early on in the first quarter when Aaliyah was intercepting the ball. But since then, it's just been an absolute domination through the middle part of the ground by the GWS midfielders and their running players. And again, great pressure to cut that off.
Keeps it inside 50 now. Wouldn't think that would be deliberate. He was going for some territory. And no, it's not. Toby Green on his knees, stretching. Gets up now. Played a significant game. A mighty contribution, really. 24 disposals, 2 goals, 2. Just his 8th outing for the year.
The Swans, in their best form, have parted ways this afternoon. What can they gather from their best players, and how do they lift?
Thanks, Callum, Rory.
Look at that. Both players, but I know we've been pumping up Cal Ward. He's as hard as nails. But the skill there to take the hit and still get that handball away to a teammate. Oh, I love him as a player. If you haven't guessed that already, Baz.
I'm sorry to the players too. The AFLPA's most courageous. Cornelio. There's Green. Touch, they say. The umpire won't have anything of it.
Mark. Jeremy. It's a mark. It's a mark. That's your mark. One on the mark, please. One on the mark. Hold here. Thank you.
The Swans are starting to sound desperate amongst themselves and with the umpire. This for Green's third to make it a 41-point margin.
Meters, all clear.
Goal the result. And the Swans fall deeper into the hole. It has been a torrid afternoon for the Swans. They got the first, and then the Giants got the next 2. Quarter time, Giants by 5. Happily got the first of the second, and the last 2 to the Giants. 15 points only the margin at half time. 3 goals to zip in the third. 35 has become 41.
Just one of the anomalies of this game is the fact that bloke marking the footy is allowed to put their knee up and protect themselves, and on that last one he did it again. He got let off last year, Toby Green. I just reckon he's got to be careful with that. I mean, it could do some damage. I understand the bloke marking the footy is allowed to protect himself, but it's just treading a fine line.
Here they come again. De Boer for his second. Opposite number 24, Dean Rampy got there.
The most famous of those was against Luke Dalhouse, wasn't it?
Yep. And I think that was from a handball to him, and he put the foot right out and got him fair and square in the face. But I don't love it, but as the marking player, the receiving player, you are entitled to protect yourself. It's a bit of an anomaly of our game.
Williams, Cunningham. Ended up with Hanbury, got it from the skipper, and now Kennedy, who crosses things quickly to Tomlinson. 3-2-20 for Toby Green. Sydney 2-6-18. Green on his own has outscored them by 2 points. Perryman a long one to Langdon. Heaney slipped over. There's been so much of that tonight. In a losing season at the SCG for Sydney, it's almost impossible to believe. Hadn't happened for 18 years, and Himmelberg on the lead has marked, and a chance to kick at his third.
Well, the ball movement again by the Giants, just working out into space, hard work to get on the end of it. And They've got class everywhere. It was a superb pickup by Brett Deledio on the move. See Toby Green, Deledio, Williams, De Boer, the 4 inclusions, they've all contributed beautifully. Took the risk, it's paid off.
He's kicked 3 goals against the Swans twice before, not this time, into the post. So their inability, Lingy, to kick a score tonight, to kick any goals has been part of it, but their season story here at home has been another big part of the story.
It has been, yeah. The fact they haven't been able to keep winning at home like we're so used to them doing. Their scoring all year's been an issue, apart from Buddy Franklin.
Here we go again this time. It's Himmelberg presenting. He had a side a moment to go.
Zach Langdon. Zach, just walk away, please. With me. That's your mark. That's your line, mate.
Plenty of the Giants doing plenty of talking, but the scoreboard talks the loudest. 8-12 to 2-6. 42-point margin. Himmelberg looking at his third. A player down, Josh Kelly, right knee. They haven't faltered. And as you say, it sails wide to the left. They'll have 9 losses for the year, the Swans. 7 of them will be here.
He's a bit wayward then, Himmelberg, but geez, been an important target inside forward 50. He's taken 9 marks already this evening.
And those losses, Hayne, Port Adelaide, North Melbourne, Geelong, Gold Coast, Hawthorn. 4 of those teams didn't make the finals, didn't make the top 8. And that told us something, didn't it? You knew something wasn't quite right about Sydney's makeup this year with those losses at home.
And throwing the fact that they just couldn't score, through their unbelievable heart and their culture and the strength of the group, they were able to just fight for some wins, but they weren't scoring. They didn't have the overall balance in their game that necessarily was going to do a heap of damage, but you can never count them out at the same time. That's why we're a little bit unsure coming in today. Could they do it?
Newman doesn't look good, has hardly moved. Callan Ward, wouldn't this be something? Wouldn't that be something? The skipper. Number 9, and they love it. They get around him. 9-13-67, 2-6-18. It's a 49-point lead.
Crowd attendance up on the screen now. There is 40,350 in for the SCG Elimination Final.
Co-captains at the Giants, and well, the captains have absolutely led from the front in Callan's case and behind in Phil Davis's case.
Oh, they've completely broken them now. They've probably done it in the 3rd quarter, but they have just put the foot down. Great finish, Callan Ward. Deserved that one. He's been inspirational today.
So Ward, he kicked the Giants first back in 2012. He's kicked their most recent and got them out to a 49-point lead. The Swans goalless in the 3rd quarter and looking hapless in the last.
And unfortunately, when you are in an elimination final scenario and you're gone, and you know you're gone, and you know there's no next week, and you know that it's so disheartening that unfortunately the floodgates can completely open and it blows out. The Giants are feeling that right now, and the Swans are just feeling awful.
Haynes, hurried ball, somehow, through it all, finds Shield. It has been a pretty much picture-perfect afternoon for the Giants, other than the man playing his 100th in Josh Kelly.
We've just got to hope that those scans come back and it's okay, and he's good to go next week. But apart from that, incredibly impressive display.
Moving on. Play on.
Still plenty of time left, but the lowest score the Swans have ever registered in a final was in 1899 in the grand final. 3 goals, 8. They've got a bit of work to do. That was in a grand final against Fitzroy. They only lost by a point. But they're going to get thumped this afternoon.
Grundy, Parker, Kennedy, Lloyd, long ball, inside 50, Jack. Well done, Haynes. Been absolutely superb. One of their really best players today. Quickly flicked out Cornelio's way, then kicked forward. Perryman's ball, a rolling wobbler, Okay to Taranto. Tomlinson followed up and did nicely. He can take off the big man, drives it in the Himmelberg direction. Grundy under a bit of pressure, got it quickly and moved it on. Was well done. Kick towards the boundary line. Tomlinson gets another chance, took it over. Robinson there with the pressure.
Lee just on the Swans' lowest SCG score ever, not just finals. 6-7 versus Melbourne in '89.
Well, that is certainly under threat, that one. They've had a horror day, but it's been brought on by the Giants. Leon Cameron told us before the game he wanted them to physically smash them in the tackles, and they've done that from the start, led by Callan Ward, but that entire midfield has gone after them in a big way, and then they've just outworked them, spread, outnumbered around every contest. Been a great effort.
Kennedy. Pressure came from Cornelio. The desire from Cornelio remains. Whitfield normally brilliant. Whistle falls short. Aliir marking everything early. Came off his chest. Grundy helped out. Aliir a fumble. Cameron!
Don't go forward or it's 50. Thank you, mate.
5 posters for GWS tonight. Could have been more. 9-14. They lead by 50 points. 9-14. Lloyd, long ball into the middle of the ground. Lob, terrific mark. Got a speculation that at West Coast, perhaps next season, Giants will do everything to keep him. Taranto just pops it over the top.
It's big for Lob's confidence to mark the ball like that. If it happens to be, I'm not going to predict the result of tonight's game, but if it happens to be Collingwood, he's going to have a huge ask against Brodie Grundy.
Williams, Reid, Shield, runs away from Hewitt, unloads from outside 50. Cameron, free kick.
Jeremy Cameron.
He's a quality defender, Dane Rampy. Just the grabbing around the waist.
15 goals.
Not a heap there. But they do look, if those arms get around the torso, and triggers the umpire's decision making.
Cameron's got his second, and the Giants have kicked the last 8. 8 in a row. 10-14, 2-6. So Harry Himmelberg. Interesting. Another calling on the run that Newman was down for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, some good news for the afternoon. Stick around for Macca's Kick to Kick after the siren.
Right of screen there, you mentioned Newman going down. That was from a big hit, Harry Himmelberg. Not that much in it, just bracing for contact.
Giants free kick.
Pretty physical.
Pretty hard there, Lingy, to see. Did he get him high or did he just get him?
I just think he just got him.
Bit going on here. There's a bit of talk between Franklin and Davis at the moment.
Well, Newman at full stretch leads the race and then gets the Swans rolling again, but it has been a really mediocre afternoon. Parker went looking, couldn't find his man, came off the chest of Kennedy, and then there's just desperation from the Giants all around the football. That's been the way since the first bounce. So Buddy Franklin has had 7 disposals, just the one behind. Still 10 minutes to play. But Davis has been superb. Franklin's first final against the Giants, he was goalless. The first time he'd ever been goalless in a final. Goalless against the Swans, against the Cats at the end of last year. And well, again, a quiet afternoon. This is where it all started. Buddy having a crack at Kennedy. Davis sticking up for his man. Meanwhile, through McVeigh, the Swans. Tahini back to McVeigh, and then wide ball. 3 Swans at the fall of the ball, but It's a fumbly mess.
And they just outnumber again. The Giants got over and helped, and away they go. Brilliant.
They look like they're on rollerblades, the Giants, and the Swans, they're in quicksand. De Boer to Hopper. It's a training drill. Hopper hits the post, but this is an elimination final, and it's all just too easy.
It's 6 posters for the Giants. Josh tells us there's only Josh Could. 5 of those 6, the right-hand post, Hamish.
He's got time on his hands, Josh, hasn't he?
Here's Jack.
So some fight late by the Swans, where it matters little. The scuffle, and well, it has been disappointing.
Newman up on his feet now, looking better. Long ball down towards full forward. There's a whistle, and it is Reed's free kick.
One of the big things in finals footy, you've got to try and disarm the opposition strengths, and the Giants around the stoppages have been outstanding tonight. 6 goals, 4 from scores from stoppages, just the Sydney Swans 2 behinds.
And Bolts, how will John Longmire take the fact that they're minus 39 in contested possessions?
Oh, that'd be the first thing they'd address in the review. I think this is something where they walk through all of the review and try and analyse and forensically pick it apart. But that is the first and foremost, to just address contested footy. They have just been outworked by a quality outfit.
8 goals in a row at home in an elimination final. Every part of that sentence is so un-Sydney-like. But that's what we've got here this afternoon into the night. Hewitt trying to burst away, he can't. 57 points is the lead. Crowd of over 40,000. As Lingy said at the outset, most of them streaming for the red and the white. They have not had much to cheer about at all. The Giants, by contrast, so impressive. They march on. The loser of West Coast and Collingwood, they'll have to be on their toes.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Cal.
And it shows what they can do when they get the game on their terms, by being physical early, by hunting the footy, hunting the opposition, and then they're able to break the game and use their skill and their running power. They can't just rely on playing free-flowing footy. When they combine it with that physicality, they're an extremely dangerous team.
In the last 64 minutes, 8 goals, 12 to 2 behinds.
Wow.
Hard to believe it's happened at the Sydney Cricket Ground with this Swans outfit, who have been so relentless and so determined for so long. But the Giants have had their measure.
And that's without their pride mover, Josh Kelly, of course, has been not on the ground since quarter time.
Front on contact.
So they've got a date with
Giants,
either the
more.
Eagles or the Pies
Play
at
time,
Optus or at the MCG on Saturday. The Hawks and the Demons will do their thing on Friday night. And the Giants haven't had their best team all year, but they're getting players back at the right time of the year. He's one of them. First game of the year. Mark it for me, Lingy. He's been pretty good in my book, buddy.
Excellent.
Leon Cameron took a risk. 4 ins. Before, you would have to bring in Deledio, played so little footy. Green, big tick. Williams, am I going to play a player in his first game of the year in elimination final? Yes, and all of them have stood up.
I love that he started Lachie Whitfield up on the wing, even though he's won an All-Australian selection on half-back. Bringing Williams in, give Lachie Whitfield, who's probably been outpointed in previous two games against the Swans, just get him up there and get him involved very early.
Perryman to Reed. Reed to lob, or in that direction, but Parker in front. So, Lingy, who's got more to think about during the off-season? Sydney or Geelong?
Both have got a lot, and funnily enough, this bloke takes the mark down. Hanbury, you hear a lot of talk about him not being at the Swans next year despite being contracted, so could be some player movement as well. But both great clubs have been up there for a long time. A long way off it in these first elimination finals.
Tapley, Hayward, Kennedy got a handball away, only just to Jones. He's going to get it again. Under pressure every time. Well played by Himmelberg. Running hard to provide support. It's coming backwards though. Jones from the logo. High ball in, and Tomlinson not quite. Didn't mark Davis. Superb until the end. And Ward Ward goes. The skipper, he's had one. He's taken on too many.
Holding the ball, Sydney. No, he didn't.
McCartan quickly back the other way.
Play on.
Rampy.
Yours.
Outside 50, Davis, Papley. Davis quickly to his feet again. Well done by Kennedy. He's been very reliable tonight. Soccering towards the defensive 50. Aaliyah. Heaney. And away they go again.
Here goes the racehorse, Aaliyah. He's closing. Whitfield, brilliant on the left. Worked it inside. In the end, De Boer lost his feet. Still found the football. Green, always brilliant. This time just works it over the top. Knew De Boer was going to run into space. Florent did well, did enough. Handball over the top. Shield under pressure. Ball spills over. So the Swans are going to register their lowest score here at the SCG and maybe their lowest ever in a final.
And we spoke about the risks that GWS took to bring some players back. Well, Brett Deledio hasn't let them down. And the Telstra tracker heat map there, just covering a heap of ground in the entire forward half of the ground. He's found plenty of the footy, 22 touches. Had a great influence. Toby Green's had 26 disposals and kicked 3. Zach Williams, 21 possessions and a lot of rebound off half-back. And Matty De Boer kicked that really important goal when the Giants had all the momentum but simply couldn't do anything with the footy going inside forward 50. And De Boer kicked that goal and that gave them the belief.
Newman, Heaney, 58 points. Edging closer towards a 10-goal margin.
Thank you.
It would be pretty humiliating for the Sydney Swans to drop it by that much on their deck. Already it's been a very, very disappointing night. Shield on Kennedy, no space. Florent behind the back. Zach Jones as a player down.
GWS.
Zach Jones on Ward.
Adam, relax.
He's a tough boy, Kel Ward.
Play on.
No one on the mark. Inexcusable. It's been that sort of night. Again, the foot goes out on Newman. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure, Baz.
It's okay according to the umpire, but, well, there's an old saying, does it pass the pub test, Lingy?
And does it open Pandora's box? Are more players going to do this?
It just doesn't look good, does it?
And I know people will argue, what's the difference between a foot and a knee in that situation? But I don't know, Baz. I don't love that one at all.
Well, irrespective of whether it's okay or not, this for 4 goals. He's missed it. Can't believe he's missed it himself. It's a 59-point lead. I mean, you can hold the player off with your arm. The umpire's effectively saying you can hold them off with your boot as well. Yeah,
and you can launch a knee into them if you're going to take a big hanger. So I get all that. I hear the arguments.
Parker, here's a chance. Something late for the Swans. It's been a miserable afternoon. Parker nails one.
It'll be debated all week, whether it's right, wrong, ethical, unethical, I don't know. It'll be discussed.
Well, as it stands, Lee, it's legal.
Yes.
And they had a chance to send a message last year and didn't. But it's flirting with danger.
This was the free kick to Kel Ward off the ball. Zach Jones choosing to bump. Free kick paid, got him high. That'll be looked at, absolutely. The fact that Kel Ward jumped straight back up and can take the kick's going to help Zach Jones, but doesn't matter for this season.
He's in a bit of trouble for that, I think.
Advantage!
Tomlinson's played well. He missed Shield with a handball. Didn't matter. Shield just went off the deck. And look at that. Callan Ward marks about 40 metres out. Slight angle. It's kickable from there for the co-captain. So how good they've been. Said already. They've led from the front and from the back, the Skippers. Callan Ward up front.
27 disposals, but 17 of those contested possessions with 7 clearances and a goal and possibly a second goal here. That's a captain's game, and you're right about Phil Davis.
Oh, Phil Davis down back to keep Buddy goalless. and to only 1 behind and 8 disposals. Callan Ward kick on its way. Haven't kicked well at goal all night. It hasn't really been a bother, has it? Only 3-6 for Sydney, 10-18 for the Giants, and Buddy on the bench.
28 scoring shots to 9, 54-point lead. West Coast or the Pies next week for the Giants. A long off-season for the Swans. Are written off. They bounced on 3 of the last 4, but have had a really rugged afternoon. Himmelberg in the air. Bunting over the top, and here they go again, the Giants. They've got time and space. Rare luxury in any form of footy, let alone finals. The low light, Josh Kelly. The highlight, their second win at the SCG. So coming into the day, the Swans have played 7 finals here. They've won 6 of them. The Giants had travelled here 6 times. They'd only won 1. The Giants walk away with a win against their crosstown rivals in a final. Second final against the Swans, second win. Grundy has a win against a man who's got a few of the Swans supporters a little agitated.
Florin. Here's Lloyd. It's been a dark night for the Swans. Robinson through the middle of the ground. Long ball. Papley caught behind. Davis, a rare error. Doesn't deserve to concede a goal, but he does. Papley kicks his second. Well, it won't bother him. He's won the night. His team's won the day.
But he's a competitive bloke, so it sort of will bother him a bit, Baz.
Not on Buddy either. He'll think, how did that happen?
Giants fans, give him a big round of applause. What a game. That will annoy him, Baz. He's such a competitive person, but what a game he has played. What a captain's game.
He'll be asked tonight, how did you go? Well, I kept Buddy goalless, but Papley got me late.
And typically, Hayne, when Buddy's been off, he's been off the ground. It was the only time that he didn't manage to get off the ground. Found himself on Papley and then concedes the goal.
And now with, well, only a minute or 2 to go, a minute to go, Green, Deledio, Davis on the bench. Rest them up. Took a risk with Green and Deledio. Paid off beautifully. Big tick to the coaching staff, the medical and fitness staff of the Giants.
And largely, Lingy, without Josh Kelly.
So with those last 2 goals, the Swans, through Parker and Papley, have avoided the lowest score ever in a final. It will be the lowest score ever at the SCG.
Bolts, that man there on screen, Dan Hanbury. Is this the last time we see him in a Swans jumper?
Well, he's contracted till 2021, but there's obviously been a lot of talk, so we'll wait and see.
Something, isn't it? As the Swans, the lowest ever score at the SCG. What an afternoon and evening to do it. But full credit to the Giants. All throughout the year, they have had a long, star-studded injury list. They've got them back and they've lost them. Today's a great example. 4 ins and then Josh Kelly disappears. But against their rivals in the second final, they roll the Swans. It's 49 points. Davis was brilliant.